that's why he's not here tonight. That's why I'm here, so be patient with me. I've never done this before. Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Steve, you want to do roll call?
Thank you, Councilperson Demko. We'll start with roll call. Councilperson Boyd. Here. Councilperson DeLoss. Here. Councilperson Cody. Councilperson Sarsfield. Still here. Councilperson Demko.
Here.
Councilperson Katina. We have a quorum.
Mayor, I forgot, Mayor.
Sorry, Mayor. Mayor Kabisik. Here.
He's still here too.
Thank you, Mayor.
Oh, he never called me the first time.
I have to stay consistent, Mayor.
Okay. Are there any comments on the listed motions from the audience? No comments? Okay. Continue. Mayor, would you like to
Yes.
do the presentation?
We have a short presentation to start off here. We have 3 young ladies who are Girl Scouts, and they have, because of their volunteer hours, they have received the Presidential Award from the Office of the President for their volunteer hours. The 3 girls, if they would like to stand up, they are Christy Crawshaw, Emma Gardner, and Amanda Martin. Christy Crawshaw earned a gold award. Emma Gardner earned a silver award, and Amanda Martin earned the bronze award. And this is countless of volunteer hours, probably hundreds of hours for each of the girls. Even one of the girls had well over 200 hours. And here are some of the things they volunteered for to earn this award. They got the Susan B. Komen Race for a Cure, Pause for a Cause. They volunteered with the police department for some police activities, church festivals, homeless shelter, Sweats for the Vets, cleaning up on Library Hill. If you remember a little while ago, they cleaned up in the whole Library Hill there, redid the benches, planted flowers, and cleaned the monument up there too. So they put a lot of hours in on that. They planted flowers at Carnegie Park. And this is just, they had many, many more hours of volunteer for a number of different services. So it's quite extensive, the hours that they've done, and it's quite impressive. I think it's very admirable for you girls to do this. So we appreciate what you've done for Carnegie, and I'm sure a lot of other organizations appreciate what you've done for them. So at this time, we're going to present them their awards. So receiving the bronze award right now for her volunteer will be Amanda Martin. Amanda, come on up. Receiving the silver award for her hours, Emma Gardner. And receiving the gold award for her hours, Christy Crawshaw.
Cheese. Please.
Good job, girls. Congratulations. Great job.
Councilman Kloss, we're going to start with the administration and finance.
Thank you. Motion 1A, motion to approve the minutes from the council meeting of December the 9th, 2013. Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Motion to approve the minutes from the council meeting on December 26th, 2013. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
1C, motion to approve the January bill list and bill list addendum. Second.
All in favor?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Roll call vote.
Councilperson DeLoss?
Yes.
I do have one question, Joe. With the members who are not in attendance, should I even read their names or just go through what we have?
Just read who's here.
Okay, thank you. Councilperson DeLoss?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Councilperson Sarsfield?
Yes.
Councilperson Boyd?
Yes.
Councilperson Demko?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to reopen the 2014 general fund budget, sewer fund budget, and liquid fuels budget. Second.
Roll call.
Can I make a comment first as to what the purpose of this is? In the January following an election, council has the opportunity to reopen the budget, which it just approved in December, so that any new elected officials can participate and possibly make changes. And the council has decided that it does want to make a change to the budget that we passed in December. And so at this point, I move to reopen the budget this month. Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilperson Boyd?
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield?
Yes.
Councilperson DeLoss?
Yes.
Councilperson Demko?
Yes.
Motion passes.
1E, a motion to advertise a special meeting to take place on January the 27th, 2014 at 6 p.m. to finalize and adopt the general fund, sewer fund, and liquid fuels budgets for 2014 and to discuss the 2014 agenda setting, any other borough business. Second.
Any comments?
This would be the meeting that follows the previous motion to reopen the budget. This purpose of this meeting then would be to finalize that budget for the year.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
1F, a motion to extend an offer of employment to Garrett Lukix as a Carnegie probationary police officer contingent upon completion of a physical and psychological test.
Second comment. Just want to comment that part of our budget was maintaining 13 police officers. We met Mr. Lukacs, and he appears to be a great young guy, and I think I speak for all of council that we're excited to have somebody coming here with his enthusiasm.
Roll call.
If I could just clarify, it's pronounced Lucas, just like me, except spelled different.
Roll call. Councilperson Sarsfield?
Yes.
Councilperson Boyd?
Yes.
Councilperson DeLoss?
Yes.
Councilperson Demko?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion 1G, a motion to extend an offer of employment to Cynthia Senko as a Carnegie probationary police officer contingent upon completion of a physical and psychological test.
Second comment, Same thing with Mrs. Senko. She spent some time in the military as a military police officer. She displayed to us some great personality. We all feel that she'll be very committed to our borough and to our residents. We're excited to have another female officer here in the borough. I think she'll be very oriented towards our kids and to our citizens.
If I could make a comment also, a particular note with this young lady is that Carnegie's the only place she applied. It's very easy for us to track where the hiring, where they seek hiring opportunities. She chose Carnegie and targeted Carnegie only, was successful in her exams and her interview process as one of the top 3, and I think she's going to make a fine addition to our police force.
Absolutely.
Roll call.
Thank you. Councilperson Sarsfield?
Yes.
Councilperson DeLoss?
Yes.
Councilperson Boyd?
Yes.
Councilperson Demko?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion 1H, motion to appoint Richard DeLoss as a delegate to the Allegheny County Southwest Collection District.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
1I, a motion to appoint Phil Boyd as an alternate delegate to the Allegheny County Southwest Collection District.
Second.
Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I'm sorry.
1J, a motion to appoint Patrick Katina as primary delegate to the Shar West Council of Governments.
Second.
Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
1K, a motion to appoint Michael Sarsfield as an alternate delegate to the Shar West Council of Governments. Need a second?
Comments? Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
1L, a motion to advertise Borough Ordinance Number 2393, an ordinance of the Borough of Carnegie providing for setting of Carnegie Borough's business privilege tax for the year 2014 and each year thereafter.
Second.
Comments?
Madam President, this was an issue that was discussed back in December, actually even further than that, about the business privilege tax in Carnegie, which has been in previous years set at a flat $200 for any business. And in order to reduce some of the burden onto residential property owners, Council has requested to change the business privilege tax to a higher value, and so as not to put all of the burden of that higher value on small businesses, which it may only have 1 or 2 employees. It was requested that there be 2 tiers for this business privilege tax. And one would be, the lower tier would be for businesses that have less than 10 employees, and the higher value for businesses that have 10 or more employees. And we would propose that the rate be $300 for the small business and $600 a year for the larger businesses.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Motion 1M, a motion to disclaim all of the Borough of Carnegie's rights, claim, title, and interest, and to the bequest of Stanley A. Kimmick to the property owned by Stanley A. Kimmick, located on Chestnut Street in the Borough of Carnegie, and also known as Block and Lot 66-K-85, as contained in the last will and testament of Stanley A. Kimmick, and docket at number 02-04-1712 of the Orphans Court Division of the Court of Common Pleas of Allegheny County.
Second.
Comments?
I just want to take a second to explain this. Mr. Kamick died 10 years ago, and he willed this property to the borough The borough never accepted it. And it's basically, if you go up on Chestnut Street, a cliff with trees on it. You can't use it for anything. The borough's never accepted it. Every couple of years it comes up. I think it's proper if the borough's not gonna accept it to tell the estate we don't want it. And that's, well, actually, one way or the other, that's up to council here to, but one way or the other, put an end to this every couple of years. It shows up delinquent taxes. Put an end to it.
Roll call?
Councilperson Boyd?
Yes.
Councilperson DeLoss?
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield?
Yes.
Councilperson Demko?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, code enforcement, there are no motions tonight. Public Works motions, Councilman Boyd is going to read those tonight.
Motion to approve payment to Soleil Construction Incorporated in the amount of $44,388.75 for the 2013-3A excavation sanitary sewer repair contract for work completed between October 24th, 2013 and December 26th, 2013.
Second.
Comments? No comments, roll call, Steve?
Councilperson DeLoss?
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield?
Yes.
Councilperson Boyd?
Yes.
Councilperson Demko?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve payment to State Pipe Services Incorporated in the amount of $6,210.30 for the 2013-3B relining sanitary sewer repair contract for work completed in 2013.
Second.
Comments? Roll call?
Councilperson Boyd?
Yes.
Councilperson Sarsfield?
Yes.
Councilperson DeLoss?
Yes.
Councilperson Demko?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to direct KLH engineers to prepare bid specifications necessary to advertise the 2014 pavement maintenance program for the Borough of Carnegie.
Second comment. Some of the streets selected were Modern, Charles Street, Wilcox, Justice, and some alternative streets were Trimble and Christie. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So just so that people have an understanding of the streets that were selected.
Thanks, Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Motion to direct KLH engineers to prepare bid specifications necessary to advertise the 2014 consent order tasks for the Borough of Carnegie.
Second.
Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Motion to direct KLH engineers to begin final design work for Phase 2 of the Carnegie Park Master Plan project.
Second.
Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, Councilman Sarsfield, will you do public safety, please?
Thank you, Madam Vice President. I have one motion this evening. It's motion A. It's motion to adopt resolution number 2014-01, a resolution of the Borough of Carnegie establishing a handicap parking space near 209 Railroad Avenue.
Second.
Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Community Development, Councilman Boyd.
We have a motion to accept the bid from Shamrock Sign Fabrication and Maintenance for the Carnegie Borough Exterior Wayfinding Program at a cost of $167,276.96. This is a joint project between the Borough of Carnegie and the Carnegie Community Development Corporation.
Second.
Comments?
This number is actually higher than we had originally anticipated, but if we extend the duration of the plan a little bit, we would be able to reach this. And I think with some other additional modifications, perhaps we can shave some off the price of some of these signs. But this is certainly a step in the right direction for the town.
And it's a 50-50 split. So, you know, the borough's cost is, you know, a little over $83,000.
Roll call, Steve.
Councilperson Sarsfield,
Yes.
Councilperson Boyd,
Yes.
Councilperson DeLoss,
Yes.
Councilperson Demko.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Committee reports, Rick, do you have anything?
Just a couple of items. On the administration piece, normally in January we make committee assignments for council members. That is in progress, so we do not have firm committee assignments yet. This evening I'm doing administration and finance, but by the end of the month we'll have sorted out who has responsibility for what. We did mention already through the motions that Mike Sarsfield will be taking my seat as the alternate on the COG, which is our Council of Governments, which we sit in with the neighboring communities. And I will be taking the seat on the Collection District, which is a taxing authority in the county. So those are a couple of assignments which have changed already this evening. On the tax issue, what was debated last month was could we trim a little bit off the millage increase, which was anticipated to be from 6.23 to 6.83, a 0.6 increase. By changing the values on the business privilege tax to a higher number, we would be able to do that. The business privilege tax increase, the two-tiered plan, which is $300 and $600, would provide an increase of approximately $70,000 of revenue, which would allow a reduction of 0.2 mils on the real estate tax. So instead of 6.83, it would be 6.63, making a 0.4 mils increase over the 2013 value. So that is the intent at the moment, unless we get some data in the next few weeks that would be contrary. That's the plan that we're going forward for when we meet later in the month on the taxing. That's all I have, Madam Vice President.
Thank you. Code enforcement, Councilwoman Cody's not here tonight. Terry, do you have anything?
No, Mary, thank you.
Okay. Public Works, that's me. Dan, do you have anything on Public Works? No? Okay. Public Safety, Councilman Sarsfield.
Nothing this evening.
Okay. Community Development, Boyd.
Councilman DeLoss, would this be an appropriate time to talk about, or did I miss it? Did you already talk about the agreement with Mr. Kaza?
No, we did not. And thank you for bringing that up.
Sorry.
Madam Vice President, would you like me to make that announcement?
Yes.
Not to step on Mr. Phil's, on Councilman Boyd's time, but we do have to announce, and this is a legal obligation, that council has reached an agreement to sell the Family Dollar lot to Kaza Enterprises for $350,000. Kaza Enterprises intends to build a grocery store there. We had put the property out for bid twice, and we received no qualifying bids for the property. Under Pennsylvania state law, we could go, and this was done last year, under Pennsylvania state law, when you've put a property out for bid twice and you have no qualifying bids, you can enter into private negotiations to sell the property. And we have now reached such an agreement, a privately negotiated agreement with Kaza Enterprises. for the sale of the property for $350,000. Under the Pennsylvania state law, we have to announce the agreement and then wait 30 days before council can enter into the agreement. So, to start the clock ticking, this would be the public announcement of the agreement. And in 30 days, we can come back and vote, council can vote to enter into the agreement if they so desire. And proceed with the building of the grocery store on that lot, if that is what they intend to do.
Mr. Solicitor, and if the public would want to view the agreement, are they allowed to do that?
Absolutely, the agreement will be available for public viewing downstairs in the office. If anybody would want to read it, it's a typical sales agreement, but certainly anybody's free to view it. There are a couple changes to your standard sales agreement because it's the borough property. There are some requirements that the borough can take the property back if it is not built prior to closing, if it becomes apparent that they can't build a grocery store, or after closing, if they do not develop the property within 9 months, the borough can purchase the property back for $350,000 if they don't start work or anything like that. It's the borough's goal to see a grocery store built on this property that would service the community. And if that's not going to happen, the borough council, it's my belief, does not want to sell the property, so it's being sold for a specific purpose.
Mr. Solicitor, could I ask 2 questions? The next council meeting in February would not be 30 days from now,
That is correct.
so we could not act on it until March.
That would be correct at this point in time, yes.
The other question I have is if people are going
Unless there would be some sort of a special meeting that would
Special
come up
meeting.
where it would be put on the agenda.
people are going to want to know about the nature, the specific nature of this grocery. Is that something that we are not free to discuss, or should they approach Mr. Causer?
He came to a public meeting and
He did come to a public meeting.
He came to a public meeting.
I mean, it is,
They did
yeah,
present.
they presented exactly what they were going to do with the
Yes,
property at a
that's
public
true.
meeting, at our public workshop.
and the only thing, that is who he is, you could go into that is who his first choice is. If something would happen beyond his control, he still has the ability to find another grocer, but you can go.
Well, then we should say at this point that at the December, I think it was a workshop in December, Mr. Causa presented a plan for East End Co-op, which is a grocery in East Liberty, to build a second location here in Carnegie. That the store would be approximately 3 times the size of the existing store in East Liberty, and it would be meant to service all of the western suburbs, not just Carnegie. It would be a draw for neighboring communities because it has a unique product line similar to Whole Foods, and it would be expected to draw people from all of the neighboring municipalities as well as folks here in town. So that is the initial plan. The manager from East End Co-op was here and spoke with us, and is very excited about the possibility of being here.
Mr. President, they also said that they were, it's about a 15,000 square foot they were mentioning, and they said that they were going to model it after some of the most successful co-ops around the country. So it sounds very promising. If they can deliver what they were talking about here, I think it's going to be very exciting for our community.
And I think also we're supportive of the whole co-op concept, that this is something that's for the community, the benefit of the community. It is not a for-profit store, and I think that just adds even more to its appeal.
And I appreciate it, Mr. Boyd, because I didn't talk to Mr. Claus until about 5 o'clock, so it didn't make it on the agenda. Thank you.
Couldn't have said it all better myself.
Thank you.
Other news in the community development arena, one piece of bad news, one piece of good news. We're all aware that Wright's Pontiac Suzuki has vacated their property. You'll see that, that there's no cars in the lots anymore. There's no activity. We don't know exactly what Wright's plans to do for it with the property. We do know that there's interest in the property, and we're hopeful that that'll bring more good things to Carnegie in the very near future. And the other piece is good news, fortunately. I stopped by one day last week and visited the property formerly known as, I can't remember, Jay's Bar, and then it was called Chow's Bar and Chow's Restaurant. I stopped by there and went on a little tour of the facility last week, and boy, is it just a beautiful place, and they do plan to finally open early in February, and I'm very, very excited about having a new dining opportunity here in Carnegie.
Maybe we could take our wives here for Valentine's, huh?
Maybe we can. And that's all I have right now, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, do we have anybody from the fire department?
Matter of fact, you do.
Hit it, Bill.
I'm going to put in for some overtime pay. Fire department answered 24 calls during the month of December. EMS answered 241 calls. There were actually 2 real fires during the month of December. We had a small kitchen fire in Pennsbury Village in the middle of the month, and on one of the coldest days of December, unfortunately, we had a Pat bus catch on fire on the busway just above the bridge. Is that what that's called? What is it called? Bell Station. Above Bell Station, yeah. And that was a bit challenging, but was taken care of in very short order. And that's all I have on that front.
Thank you. Our junior council.
This Saturday, January 18th, Carnegie Performing Arts Center is having open auditions for the ballet Peter Pan. And then for ages 5 to 12, it's at 1 to 2, and then ages 13 and over is 2 to 3. That's it.
Are you in it?
Yeah, I will be.
I like that. The auditions are fixed. She already knows.
Everyone gets a part.
Can I get a part?
Yeah. Audition.
Can I pay to watch?
There will be free tax preparation available to all moderate and low-income families and seniors from February 4th through April 10th, 2014, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can call to arrange an appointment. They will be at 2 locations, the Carnegie Borough Building at 412-276-1414, extension 1421 on Tuesdays, and on Thursdays it will be at the Chartier Senior Center, and that phone number is 412-276-5056.
And you said textbooks.
Tax preparation.
Oh, tax preparation. I thought you said textbooks. Tax preparation. That sounds great. Thank you.
State Representative Nick Kotick will have office hours in the Carnegie Municipal Building by appointment only, Wednesdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Call 412-264-4260 to meet with the representative.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, you're up.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. We're going to start with the numbers for the month of December. The police numbers go like this: criminal arrests and citations numbered 17, traffic citations 26, parking tickets 25, complaints and self-initiated activity 799. The 2013 totals for the department. They handled 11,669 complaints and self-initiated activity for the department. That remained fairly flat. It's about a 1% increase over last year. Some of the interesting areas for this is we handled, I say significantly for a small borough, more abandoned cars, averaged about 5 a month, about 64 total for us for a year. This is the second straight year where fraud reports to our police department were up. They were up about 27% again this year, and so that's 2 years in a row. And I think that's a trend across the country, basically. There were a slight increase in our traffic stops this year, but there was a decrease in our traffic targets. As far as burglaries, they stayed flat, about the same as they were the year before. Thefts were down about 26% overall for this year. And thefts are a little different than burglaries. Chief, if you want to just give a quick explanation between a theft and a burglary.
Well, theft is for just someone stealing something. A burglary is where they're entering a home or a dwelling.
Right, thank you. All right, and so we had talked before some of our goals for next year. We definitely want to increase our traffic targets, and we're looking to increase our impact details. Of course, all this will be predicated on how fast we can get the new officers up and running. Without a doubt, we want to increase our foot patrols and have a greater presence in our business district this year. Though I think we do try to make a significant presence, but we're hoping to even increase that this year. And then, of course, our chief has been instrumental in setting up and establishing truck inspections. We will continue those periodically throughout the year, hopefully to try to slow down some of the truck traffic. It hasn't really done too much to it, but we'll keep trying. I would like to announce that the chief and his staff were able to get a grant for about 150 bike helmets, which is great news. He got it from Children's Hospital, is that correct? So we have 150 free bike helmets coming in that we can disperse to the community, and we will do at certain events, definitely. On April 26th at 8 a.m. sharp, we will continue the tradition that Chief Harbin started here. We will have our annual 5K race for the Carnegie Fire Department. We started planning on it this last week. We have a good core group. Councilman Boyd was with us. He went out to the bathroom. When he came back, he was the race director. So that's how it works. But we have a good core group, and we'll be making sure that race happens. It has transitioned into an excellent community event, and we hope to continue that success that Chief Harbin has had in the past. I want a special thank you to Chief Kennedy and his staff, and Steve Buter and their staff for the Toys for Tots program. They did a great job of collecting toys. And then a deep appreciation to the public who just continues to support this worthwhile program. Every year it just amazes me the number of toys that we get donated here at the Borough building. So thank you very much to the public. It's really touching to see how many toys we ended up getting. I want to thank the Church of Atonement. They once again they held their annual open house on Christmas Day, and provided Christmas dinners to anyone who wanted to come in, and we delivered Christmas dinners to anybody who didn't have a dinner that day. So once again, they continue the tradition in this community. With our faith-based organizations, there's always one faith-based or one or two stepping up and servicing this community. So we would be lost without our faith-based organizations. So thank you very much for all that they do. Talk a little bit about, I don't know if Steve Buter wants to elaborate on this, but a little while ago, Bob Potterville came to me and said, hey, there's an opportunity for a grant for a rain garden if you know of an area that we could use one. And I mentioned to him that the park would be a great place to have that. So Bob got together with Steve, and Steve put together the application, and I know we got the grant, and it should be going in pretty soon, right? Isn't there a meeting coming up?
Correct. We have a meeting, I believe, on January 17th, And this is going to be in conjunction with the Phase 2 project of Carnegie Park, so they tie in very well together, especially with some of the additional runoff we'll be having. So it's $9,000, and I'll have more information next month.
Thank you. Thanks for your hard work on it, Steve. Appreciate it. In case you haven't heard, this is the 65th anniversary for which was once the Chartiers Boys and Girls Club. It is now the Carnegie Boys and Girls Club. And they are currently looking for alumni, and they're trying to create an alumni list, and they really would like to find out what the alumni are up to, and some of the things that they actually want to plan some special alumni events. So if you are an alumni of the Chartiers Boys and Girls Club, which is now the Carnegie Boys and Girls Club, you can contact them, and they will have, there's information there, they're hanging all over the place, but if you can contact 412-276-3151 and tell them you'd like to get on the alumni list, it would be great. And with the Boys and Girls Club, they are doing a raffle this month. It's their Valentine's Day raffle, and this raffle is to sponsor summer camp scholarships, and the summer camp scholarships are in honor of Lou Trombetta. So it's $5 a ticket. It's based on the daily lottery number, and it's in honor of the Lou Trombetta summer camp scholarships. And trust me, the Boys and Girls Club do a great job of handing out scholarships each summer for individuals who struggle to afford going to camp, and they do a great job with their summer camp. So if you get the chance, if you want to stop down there, or if you see somebody, or I have some tickets here, it's $5 a ticket. Let's donate to that great cause. And here's something that I think everybody up here is extremely proud of. Carnegie is in the news, and we've been in the news quite often. We are making a habit of being a newsworthy town for the positive, right reasons anymore. And here are some of the things that have reached the papers within the last 2 to 3 weeks. It's amazing. Our library had a special event, special Christmas event, Christmas concert that was run by Miss Becky Toth. And they had a nice article written by Mary Lynn Pitts in the Post-Gazette on January 3rd, just talking about how interesting and how great this event will be. So that was a nice thing. And in January 6th, an article in the Post-Gazette by Diane Nelson Jones talked about Carnegie businesses credited with sustainability. And this is kind of mind-boggling right here. The Sustainable Pittsburgh, they actually have a checklist in which you can become a sustainable business. And there's 110 small businesses throughout the region that have attained this special status, but only one business has made it to the gold level, and that one business is here in our community, distinctively different decor and more, on Chestnut Street. They are gold status, so that's pretty impressive. And we have 3 other businesses: Carnegie Coffee Company, Modern Mercantile, Pullman Flower Shop, that scored at the silver level. And we have other businesses that have scored at other levels like the bronze. So, and if you remember a little while back, Sustainable Pittsburgh came here because of our sustainable business presence, and did a special day. What do they call that day again? Cash Mob. Cash Mob. Thank you very much. Appreciate it today. So that was extremely exciting. So that, once again, good positive news for Carnegie. And also on the same front, in the Tribune Review, we had a Carnegie artist that won top honors for her painting in the cat writers contest. That was Bernadette Kaczmarski. She painted a illustration series called Cats After Van Gogh, which they have a picture in the paper of it. It's really a nice painting. I mean, I just love it. It's actually very colorful, and she won first prize. And it's the first time ever that this contest is open to. They had 300 to 400 entries in 51 different categories, and it's open to any medium as far as writing, painting, or whatever. And she won the overall award with her painting. It was the first time ever that somebody won with a painting. So It was pretty impressive, so I want to congratulate Bernadette Kazmarski, and of course Carnegie is well mentioned in the article. So as you can see, we keep making the news and all for positive reasons, so that's great news. And lastly, I would like to remind everybody that we will, that on the 3rd Street Gallery, we'll be having poet Ian Ebbett, and he will be having a book release on Saturday, January 25th, and that's from 2 to 6 p.m. Once again, 3rd Street Gallery always has something interesting, and I think it would be interesting just to find out what type of poetry this gentleman writes and just be there for the book release. So that's all I have today, Madam Vice President.
Do we have any general public comment?
No, I just had a comment that
You want to come up and
yeah, it's just
say your name and
state your name and where you live. I'm Lamar Kemp. I live at 104 3rd Street. I just wanted to thank the borough for any of their participation or contributions for the work that was done. I don't know if you had anything to do with the paving, the signs, the lights, the removal of that building that's right there. It just made it such a great atmosphere to be. I mean, when you rent, when you see work being done, sidewalks, I'm just very grateful for that. I just wanted to, because I don't know who's responsible for the work, because it does go all the way up into Scott Township. But they have really done such a really good job for the renters, and even the people that own too. I know everybody can appreciate, you know, the cleanup. It just cleaned it up with the new road, the signs, and they're not even done. They're not even done because they're going to be some more lights and stuff. It's going to brighten up the place, and you know, it's just a great benefit. I just wanted to thank the
There's going to be some benches, but that was actually a grant through Congressman Tim Murphy. It was a tri-community project, but there's still some things to come. There's trees and benches and things like that, but we certainly do appreciate you know, positive feedback, you know, because believe it or not, as nice as it is, there were complaints about it too. So, you know, it's nice when people come and give us some praise and give us some accolades, and we'll certainly pass that along to the congressman.
Yeah. What about the removal of were you guys responsible for removing that apartment building?
Yes, we actually purchased it ourselves so that we could get it torn down, because that was the first thing you were seeing as you were entering our borough, and it definitely needed to come down.
Yeah.
So again, thank you for your praise.
One more thing, is there any anticipation, which is, because someone was mentioning a park or something, is there going to be any new construction put there, or any ongoing?
No, that's not, that area isn't the place of the park. The place of the park, and I don't know if the mayor knows anymore on this, was supposed to be in the green area there next to the old convent. The congressman was working with the church and putting a little parking there.
Last I heard that wasn't going to happen. Last I heard, I'm not sure.
Okay, but that area there where the apartment building, there's been some preliminary discussions possibly creating some permanent parking there, but we would certainly add greenery to that and you know, make it look nice as you come into our community.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any more? Anybody else? All right, good and welfare. Councilman Sarsfield, do you have anything for good and welfare?
Just under good welfare, me and my family had a great Christmas season and a great New Year. Spent New Year's Eve babysitting my granddaughter, and I'll tell you, it was the best New Year's Eve I ever had. And I told my wife that I didn't think she'd last till midnight. She actually outlasted me. She was up till 1:30. I was in bed at 1 a.m. So she's quite a handful, but it was a great New Year's Eve, and I look to an exciting new year here in the borough as we continue to move forward and continue to build bonds and work together.
Thank you. Councilman Moss?
I would like to echo the mayor's comments on Bernadette Kazmarski, local artist here, who's incredible with cat artwork, well-known around the country, sells her goods all over the country, and is very skilled, incredibly skilled. And so I'm glad to see her get that award. Also to Benita Farinelli, who owns Distinctively Different Decor on Chestnut Street, for getting the Gold Award on the sustainability. Also, about a week and a half ago, the PG awarded its Performer of the Year in the arts category, and a young woman was awarded an actress named Dana Griffith. And Dana is a workaholic. She performed in, I think, almost 50 weeks out of 52 last year in numerous productions, 3 of which were here in Carnegie at Off the Wall Theater. And so about half of her work last year, which she was awarded, was done here in town. And the performances have been very well attended at Off the Wall Theater. So we're getting a lot of attention in a lot of different areas, and it's all good. It's all good for Carnegie. That's all I have.
Thank you.
I don't have anything to see.
I just have one quick thing. St. Elizabeth Ann Seton is going to have a Valentine's dinner dance this year. It's actually on Valentine's Day, that Friday. It's a Friday night. And I think the tickets are $20 a piece, and it's going to be music and dinner. So if anybody's interested, you can contact,
I should still in restaurants, so we gotta get out of this.
see, there you go. It's going to be fun. So if anybody's interested, it's going to be in the church bulletin, or they can contact Margaret Beck at 412-508-4141. Right in Valentine, right down here at the church social hall. And that's all I have. And motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Motion carries. All in favor? All in favor? Everyone in favor?
Yes. Anybody opposed?
Opposed? Motion carries.
Draw the short straw.
Oh,